2020. It's been quite a year, right? It feels like a lifetime ago, but in January, we were worried about Australia being on fire. For months, we forgot why 2019 had been a bad year for the environment. Remember when the Amazon was on fire? And then Africa, Russia, Alaska. Am I forgetting anyone? Well, this guy certainly remembers. Now that the American coast has been ravaged with fires, again, the world's attention is back to a problem that, unfortunately, cannot be solved with a vaccine: climate change. With extreme climate events increasing in intensity and frequency, such as heat waves, we see one of the dreaded effects of climate change gaining strength: the impact on the resilience of our energy systems, that is, price surges and blackouts. Many factors influence energy consumption: policies, technology, the Super Bowl, and many other socioeconomic drivers. However, let's bring our attention to one important aspect of energy demand: climate. My research is focused on the climate-related portion of energy demand, specifically for the residential sector, which is the most climate-sensitive sector. Why, you may ask? Well, while industry and commerce continue their business as usual independently of climate, unless, the city is on fire, people tend to heat up the air conditioning in their homes once events such as heat waves happen. Feels nice, right? But AC takes a toll on energy consumption, and people do that not only for their comfort, but for survival. For the vulnerable population, like families below the poverty line, children, elderly, this upwards in energy consumption can be the difference between life and death. So how to approach this? When you think of heat comfort, what comes to mind? A place not too hot, not too cold, something like a Goldilocks zone for heat comfort. That is just right. If we know people's heat comfort zone, and we can forecast the weather with relative accuracy, we can predict how much energy people will need once those dreaded heat waves hit. And that's what energy planners do. Well, sort of. To keep the system running, we do our best to predict these moments of highest energy consumption to design an infrastructure so that we are ready for them. The way we can avoid having to shut down everything when the demand is above the infrastructure limit, causing a blackout. And how to predict this demand is where our work comes in handy. One of the most widely used metrics to analyze the climate portion of energy demand is CDD, Cooling Degree Days. Remember the Goldilocks Zone? That cool, just right sweet spot for climate comfort? Based on a temperature that defines this comfort zone limit, we can calculate how much a day's average temperature goes beyond this point and how far above this limit we are, so that we will need more energy to keep cool. However, climate is changing and there are two main problems with CDD. First, the usual comfort zone in America, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, was calculated in the 80s and it's outdated for both under and over estimations. Second, CDD uses only air temperature in its calculation, but we already know that, by itself, air temperature lacks information to analyze heat comfort, especially without a measure of humidity. Based on these problems, we use monthly energy data to calculate new comfort zones in America. We compare these new values with the traditional 65 degrees Fahrenheit to calculate how much energy we are either over or underestimating when not using the updated values for comfort zone. And finally, going beyond air temperature, we calculate a CDD for a climate measure that actually takes humidity into account: heat index. We find that the variation on the comfort zone temperature is on average 10%, with the effect on energy consumption being thousands of megawatts. In Florida, in just 1 month in 2016, this variation in prediction could sustain 55,000 Floridian homes for an entire year. Heat index CDD is also 22% higher than air temperature when we look at future data, considering the effects of climate change. It means that we could be underestimating more than a fifth of the climate portion of energy demand. We know that climate is changing. We are seeing and feeling its effects. But our work indicates that yes, we can do better to prepare for the consequences of it. My name is Debs, and thank you very much for watching it.